Social media is becoming more and more of a chore every single day. Like my post on Facebook. Did you retweet me on Twitter? How about hearting my picture on Instagram or reblogging me on Tumblr? Are we connected yet on LinkedIn? Even though we've never ever worked together in our entire lives? Oh, you made an e-card of somebody else's joke that you want to take credit for. Fantastic. The nature of your posting recently leaves me concerned about the regularity of your bowel movements. It's becoming insane and I can't handle it anymore. I mean, if you think about it, the average Facebook post goes something like this. There's an adorable photograph of some kittens. Maybe they're in the front yard. Maybe they're eating from a food dish and standing on each other. Maybe they're staring at some birds in a bird bath. Whatever, it's a cute photo. But then the caption reads something like this. Click like if you love these kittens. Click share if you love these kittens so much you want an entire coat made out of live kittens. Ignore this post if you're some kind of soulless bastard who is only looking at photos of kittens because you want to have sex with them. Jesus, people. It's ridiculous. And of course, when I see a post like that, I read it and I think about it for a minute and then I click ignore. On one hand, it's an absolute bother for me to be connected with every single known human being I've ever met in the universe on Facebook. On another, it feels great to see the joy and understanding of some jerk from high school who has never ever figured out the difference between Y-O-U-R and Y-O-U''re. I mean, it's great that you're funny and that I own funny, but all the effort involved in doling funny out to other people is a pain in the ass, and the residuals don't pay very well. And if you think about it, my shameless promotion of your personal brand is really getting in the way of my shameless self-promotion of my personal brand. And what good is that for anybody? And what does even personal brand even mean? I mean, it sounds like some horrible frat boy named Chad came up with a plan to indoctrinate new pledges with a molten hot coat hanger. Jesus, Chads, what a bunch of assholes. My personal brand is simple. Joel. He's occasionally funny and generally not a dick. I mean, I can live with that, and I'd probably get that put in my tombstone if I'm not going to be buried in a plague pit after the fall of Western civilization in 2018. And if you don't know what I'm talking about there, go ahead and Wikipedia it. Personal brand, the biggest problem I have with it, though, is that it blurs the lines between that whole concept of work-life balance. Oh my God, I've got to manage my personal brand on 18 social media platforms. How can I do anything but present myself as a work person? I don't know about you, but after work, I don't want to think about work, and this is why I drink heavily. The whole idea of personal brand probably came out of some marketing meeting in the 6th level of hell and was conceptualized by some guy named Chad, who is Satan's brand manager, to help make us unhappier than we already are. And you know what? Chad probably put together a pretty awesome PowerPoint on SlideShare showing his risk-benefit analysis of the conceptualization of personal brand vis-a-vis harvesting souls. You could probably go check it out. Now, people who are too young have no idea how good they have it now with all this like my stuff, heart my stuff. It's a load of crap. When I was growing up, if I wanted to share my emotions on the latest Cure single, I had to ride my bicycle to the library on a 55-mile-an-hour highway with no bike lane, not wearing a helmet, only wearing something like this to keep my head warm, and then pay 10 cents a page to photocopy my zine. Absolutely ridiculous, but if you want a copy, just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. If you were one of the lucky ones, though, you didn't have to pay 10 cents a zine. Instead, you were able to sneak into the school and use their Ditto machine, and it absolutely baked on that purple ink. And that, was as good as it got. Now, forget lolcats. Do you know how hard it was to add a caption to the Bank Street Writer in 1987? You don't know because it didn't handle graphics. No, you had to fire up GeoWorks on the Commodore 64 and swap 5 1/4 floppy disks at least 8 times just to get to the graphics program. And 16 hours later, when you were ready to print, you realized you were out of cyan on the printer ribbon for your dot matrix printer. And then, just to print it, you had to give up 3 weeks allowance because you couldn't afford it otherwise. That's right. No Avengers for you, buddy boy, because you wanted to print your stupid ass zine. And when you were done and sent it out, there were none of these hearts, likes, retweets. There was no instant gratification, no instant feedback. If Big Mac Eater 69 in Tulsa didn't like your zine, he'd just throw it away because there was no recycling. That's right, in 1987, no one gave a shit about your zine or the planet. They just throw it away with those grapes, Alexander the Grapes wrappers, and empty cans of Crystal Pepsi. It's enough thinking back on it to make a grown man hide in the garage and drink a case of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Not because I'm some kind of hipster, but after buying that printer ribbon, that's all I could afford. You know, paying $8,500 adjusted for inflation for a little bit of printer ink seems absolutely ridiculous, but it didn't matter because if we went to the library, we were paying $100 a page just to get black and white adjusted for inflation. Now, yeah, it sounds like we've gone from the time and effort of putting together a meaningful zine that we really thought people would like, but no one actually read, to posting the most boring photos of food every 10 minutes that every single person we know will like on Instagram. And you know what? That sounds about right when we look at the course of human events. And I just don't have time for all of this. I'm a busy man. I've got like 3 or 4 unwatched episodes of Castle on my DVR, for crying out loud. So if you want to like, share, retweet, print out screen captures of this video and duct tape them to your wall, I'd appreciate it.